안녕하세요. 자, last time we learned all vowels. So all the Hangul vowels. So from today we are going to go on to consonants. When you write Hangul, which is Korean character, we combine vowels and consonants together. I wrote this word here. This is read Hangul. Hangul, which means Korean character. And I combined consonant and vowels together. Do you recognize some of the vowels we learned last time? Okay, maybe you can recognize this. Do you remember? This is ah sound, right? And do you recognize this long horizontal line? And this is And we'll learn them. And this one, the first one, this part. This part represents the sound value of something like H sound. And this one represents sound value of N sound. And I just combined them like sound and ah and and this one, this group represent this syllable han. Okay, han. And this one, this part, this consonant represents sound of something like G here. And this was and this is something like L sound here. And gul. So hangul. So we just group consonant and vowels together and make syllables. So we call each unit syllable block. So we have 2 syllable blocks here. Hangul. Okay. So since we already know those vowels, we need to learn consonants so that we can make syllable blocks. So let me introduce this first one, this square shaped one. The same principle goes here too. When you write Hangul letters, you have to write from left to right and top to bottom like this. So this is 1 stroke, and this is 1 stroke. So 2, and this is 3/3 stroke. And its sound value is something like sound. So to pronounce this vowel, consonant, to pronounce this consonant, you have to put your mouth like this. So it's basically a lip sound. The shape of this consonant, this square shape, actually represents the shape of our mouth. Sound. Hangul was invented by King Sejong. We generally call him King Sejong the Great because he invented Hangul. So King Sejong, who was the 4th king of Joseon dynasty. Joseon dynasty was a kingdom that existed before Republic of Korea. Is like in Korean Peninsula now we have South Korea, so Republic of Korea and North Korea. But before like 19th century, until 19th century and even early 20th century, Korean Peninsula, there was a kingdom in Korean Peninsula that was called Joseon. Joseon lasted from 1392 until basically until 1910. And the 4th king of Joseon dynasty was King Sejong. And King Sejong himself was a great scholar. And until that time, Korean people spoke in Korean, but Koreans didn't have written language. So when they had to communicate like through letters or when they need to write books, they all used Chinese. So they spoke in Korean, but they wrote in Chinese. So Chinese characters are very difficult to learn, so only educated people could read and write. So King Sejong felt pity on the common people because they are ignorant. Most of them were illiterate at that time. So King Sejong invented writing system that can represent Korean language, so which is Hangul. Hangul. So we always commemorate King Sejong, and we call him King Sejong the Great. And when he invented Hangul, he analyzed the sounds of Korean language, and for consonants, he tried to represent the shape of our vocal organs, like our mouth. So sound is a lip sound, and he just represent this mouth with this square. So sound, sound. The consonant itself is difficult to pronounce. So if we add one vowel like this, now we can pronounce this. You know the sound value of this, right? So how do you read this syllable? 마, 그렇죠? 마. So you can already pronounce Korean syllable. And the second one, this shape is actually, this is the shape of our tongue. So when you pronounce sound, so like n sound, you touch your tip of your tongue at the back of your teeth. And if you just see from the side, then the tongue shape is like a little bit like this. So this represents the tongue sound. Sound. So in the same way, let me add this vowel here. And how do you pronounce this syllable? And ah. So can you pronounce this? Na. It's easy, right? Yeah. And the third one, actually this is the shape of our tooth. You know, like your tooth. So this shape of tooth, when you make hissing sound like it's like S sound. To make this kind of sound, you have to let your airstream go through your teeth. So he represents this sound with this shape of teeth. But it's different from English S sound. It's actually softer than English S sound. So something like that. Let me add ah as I did for other consonants here. And its sound value is sa. It's not sa. It's like, it sounds like English. It's sa. Can you hear that? Do you understand what I mean by it's softer than English as sound? Sa. Okay. And the next one, this is the shape of our throat. Throat from here to here, like this. Like your tube here, like in your mouth. Your throat goes like this, right? Like here from this side. And its sound value is something like k sound or sometimes g sound. So depending on its position, it sometimes sounds like k sound. It's a soft k sound, k, or g like this. And if we add ah here, its sound value is ka. Sometimes after other like vowels or voiced consonants, we pronounce this more closer to ga, ka, or ga, like this. Okay, so far so good. And this one, this circled one, represents the shape of our throat from the front. So it's like a circle. So in your throat is circle. And it is a little bit complicated. it has sound value of something like ng sound. So you use your throat like But it can be pronounced at the end of a syllable. So that means if I write this way, we don't pronounce this circle one nga nga. We cannot pronounce that way. In Korean, we don't have that kind of sound at the syllable. This is one syllable, and at this position, we don't have any sound value. But if we add the circled one here, then it has sound value. Let me write a little above so that you can see this clearly. So at the syllable initial position, let me call this position as a syllable initial position. This is one syllable, and syllable initial position, it doesn't have any sound value. But at the syllable final position, we have this sound value of sound. So no value and ah and So its sound value is ang, ang, ang. Okay? So they are basic consonants, most basic consonants. So let's read them together again. Okay, we cannot pronounce just consonant by itself. So I just added ah to those basic consonants. And let's read these syllables. So this is ma, ma. Okay. This is na, na. And this one, sa, sa. Okay. And this one, ka, ka. And this one, we don't have sound value here. Ang, ang. Why don't we use different vowel? What about this? You may remember this, right? What was this? This was O, right? And this is sound. So how do you pronounce this syllable? Mo, mo. You may have question about these syllables. So first syllable, I wrote this ah on the right side of this consonant, right? But in this case, I put this O sound below this consonant. Why did I do that? Can you guess what kind of vowels go on the right side of a consonant and which ones goes below? Take a look at this ah. It has long vertical line and short horizontal line. So long vertical lined ones, they should go on the right side of a consonant. Does it make sense? So that you can, like it's long, it's already long, so you just put it, like this in a balanced way. And O, this horizontal line is the main line. So long horizontal line vowels, they should go under this consonant. Okay? So which ones are long vertical lined ones? Ah and O and like E, but those kind of E, they are long vertical lined ones. And O, U, and U, and what else? Well, Yo, and we learned Yo, Ye. So they just go on the right side and they go below, right? So yeah, it's easy. So let me add O to this consonant. So how do you read this? This is read no, no, right? And what about this? This was sa, and this is so, right? And this was ka, ka, and this is ko, 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 right? And if you write this way, it doesn't have sound value, so we just read it o. But if you add this here, syllable final position, then we read it ong, ong. We have more consonants, but they are the basics. And if you understand the sound value of them, it is much easier to get the sound value of the rest of them. So okay, next time we will just extend those consonants to more, how the m sound develop into b sound. So I'm going to show that next time. 네, 감사합니다.